So that's where like hitting the bag, this is almost like an emulation of hitting the bag. Okay, and you all doing very well. I think that that's sort of the thing, right? With most swings, even with backswings for that matter. If I tell all of you to take a half backswing, here, you know where it really ends up? Here. And I show you're like, man, I thought that was a half a swing, right? So it's almost like that same less is more conversation. And with the short game shot when we're not in the range, it's easier to get your mind, like let's say I want this ball to stop right in front of Mrs. Tanico, right? I'm going to try my best to make a small swing, right? You're safe. But see, I tried to make a small swing, and it still went farther, right? The whole idea here is it's conceptually the same things that I teach people to have better impact. It's the same tools that I use for the rib cracker tool for chipping, where the stick is kind of staying out. And you guys heard me talk about that. When we chip, what do I explain? I say my hands are finishing above the club head. When I hit a pitch shots, I say my hands are finishing below the club head, which means we're releasing a little bit. Ironically, that release still happens after I hit the ball, right? So these are feelings that we're trying to develop in relation to like the hands not feeling like they have to do a lot as you go to the ball. They're just getting the club to the ball, okay? So that image is something that I want to leave everybody with. That's why I started there. Practice chipping with it first. I think the golf swing, the best way to explain it right now for me, it's a long chip. We're all different. We all use different elements. But if I get your mind to understand, look, all we're trying to do is keep that club face as square to that ball as we can, even as it gets up, square all the way through. We run into problems when we get you all thinking about turning and rotating and twisting your hands. It's just simply going away from the ball and towards the ball. It looks different based on our body and our dynamics, okay? So the focus on these was just hitting, stopping right at impact, or thinking of the first 2 feet. I would tell most of you were doing it correctly, but most of you were finishing way higher, right? And if I had that a little bit lower, and in your mind you think you have to do more than you have to do. And I'm learning that even as an instructor, Mrs. Powers, where, like even with you, I've told you, I'll try to be faster at the bottom. I've had more success with my juniors and the people I thought I should try to make fast. I've had more success with them just slowing down and being in sequence, right? So even in your mind, slowing down is a big thing. Now we're going to talk about this not from an impact and through perspective, but as we enter the ball, we should have certain dynamics and have those hands leading a certain way. So now we're going to do another task. We're going to take your alignment stick in your stall. I'll grab hers. I'll grab this one. And we're just going to stick it in the ground with a little room on the front. Okay? Now, this is really fun and really challenging. So I would suggest you try this with the mid-iron. But we're going to put a golf ball sort of either right underneath it, or we can have that stick sort of over the left edge of the ball, okay? Now, you can already imagine anxiety of trying to hit a golf ball with something over top of it and messing with your mind, okay? You will try to hit these shots. What can't you do? Go over the top, right? And this is going to be fun. Not all these are going to be good shots, but if any of you can make contact the correct way, we might see a certain pattern. We might see a certain divot pattern. But better yet, we may create better impact. In order to get to that position, we have to enter correctly. And a lot of the times, if we're going over the top, I have to release my hands a certain way. I got to use my wrist to recover. Or if my body goes back, I gotta use my wrist and all my other things to release to try to get something to the target. So I'll help you kind of get your stick in place. And I love this. This is perfect. Mrs. Powers, that's the highest I would want it to go. And I would say that Mrs. Adams has it a little bit lower, and you can try that as well.